Can everyone talk, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Test.
Can you hear me?
Everybody, please talk.
Can you hear me?
I can't. Okay. Yeah.
You know, for me, Mark, before we even begin,
Are we beginning? Are we starting?
not starting
Can I have
now.
some more in my head?
Yep.
yeah, he wants.
I like
more.
to. Do I get a TigerBelly shirt?
You do?
Yeah,
What
you get
size
whatever
are
you want. You get whatever you
Medium.
want.
We'll get
Medium.
you one.
We'll get you one.
Okay, we're good.
We should have a package ready for Mark, huh? Next time? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to
I
upgrade.
have a small bundle of cash,
Like a can of
Cool.
water.
a can of water, some cash, and a TigerBelly T-shirt.
You know, I want to be honest with you before we start.
What is this? A boutique? Is this store open?
What do you mean? A boutique? You think this is a boutique
Like
podcast?
people? No. I mean, do people come over to buy stuff? It's the way it's set up.
It's a bodega.
It's a bodega, yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to say that before we begin, are you recording?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but don't. Let's cut this part out.
Okay.
Which part?
The part I'm about to
About to
fucking
happen?
say.
The nice part?
This is the nice
Ah,
part.
he
Yeah.
knows.
It's no. I'm going to be nice. Okay, but let's just. So
Okay. Go ahead.
for how long have we done this?
6.5 years.
A long time.
Really?
How many episodes? Over 300.
More than 300.
Yeah.
Really?
And during that time, your name has come up every week, and I've always been like,
no, he's a good guy.
he's a great. He is a great guy. He's a great guy. But there is, you know, I don't know why. I just get a little nervous with like when we had Apatow on.
Yeah.
It was the same feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just want to. So I'm a little nervous, but I want to say that because I just got out of. I'm newly sober, and I
Yeah.
want to be honest, and I want to just express how I'm feeling. You know?
That you're nervous?
I'm a little anxious, and also, you know, I really admire you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I think you're a piece of shit as well.
Yeah, I know. Well, we got to mix it up. You got to have a balance.
Yeah.
Am I a piece of shit? I think
No,
I am
you're a
somewhere.
great guy. You're a great guy.
But
Yeah,
you
but-
do realize you're recording this, right? We started a long
Yeah.
time ago. So, but you know that you're like this with me all the time.
Oh.
You don't say it, but you're always sort of like, what? You know, you're always a little. Yeah.
No. That I think you're reading it wrong.
Oh.
I think you're reading it wrong. What it is is the thing is that the thing is that you, earlier on, you know what I mean? We weren't friends maybe a long time ago when I first met you.
You decided that.
Maybe I decided that, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And yeah, that's really interesting.
Okay.
That's really interesting what you just said because you're right. I make these predetermined, you know what I mean?
You're like, he's judging me. Fuck him.
Right.
And I'm like, what? Hi.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
But can I say this though? Since we just started, let's do the countdown. So let's start for real.
Five, four, three.
Ba-na-na-dun-dun-dun. Welcome to the Wild Wild West. State,
You can do it. You can do
Come
it.
on.
state untouchable like Elliot Ness.
Hey.
Hey, I went to the Super Bowl, the halftime. I was just like, I was into it, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I would like to introduce our guest. We have George, by the way, and say hi.
Is he on piano?
The white guy's on.
Yeah. We got an old timey piano player,
What's
George.
he doing? Is he doing police sketches?
We've got Filipinos here, Gilbert,
Hello.
Filipinos.
a half breed.
Oh, just,
Yeah.
okay.
Beautiful woman.
Yeah.
My girlfriend,
Half breed.
half breed.
Name.
Say
Khalyla?
breed, yeah.
Khalyla?
It has a name.
It has a name. And I'm Bob, and welcome. So
Bob.
I like to introduce. I like.
Bob. He calls himself Bob.
Yeah.
Is that his thing now? You Bob?
Some people call him
Some
Bob.
people call me Bob. People that are closer to me.
Wow.
Whoa.
No.
No, I think they take liberties. I think you hate Bob.
No, I like it Bob when it's coming from like
Your
somebody
brother,
that,
and that's it.
No, not my brother. Also, like if Mark called me Bob, it would be a term of endearment. I think.
Okay.
Like Bobby.
That doesn't sound. Yeah, that sounds condescending.
Bobby Lee.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you a long intro. Please don't interrupt.
Okay, okay.
Interrupt.
Introduct.
Introduct me.
I won't
Please don't-
introduce you.
Yeah. So this next man coming here as our guest is somebody that I admire. He was born in, I guess, New Jersey.
Yeah.
He graduated from college. He started stand-up when he was 24 or 23, something like that.
How old was I?
I think you were 24.
I don't think. Go ahead. We'll correct everything.
Yeah, but I'm just giving you the. yeah. Well, just
Are you taking notes?
take the notes, right?
Okay.
So all right. So then, here's how I became. You know what I mean? How I knew him, right?
Right.
So I used to open for Carlos Mencia in the '90s, right?
Okay.
And he had a half-hour special coming out, but you were in the same chunk. It was you.
Oh, at the
Janine.
HBO, at the Fillmore.
Yeah, the Fillmore. Yeah, the HBO.
You were there?
No, I wasn't there, but
Oh.
I remember watching all of them.
Yeah.
And I was really introduced to you, you know what I mean? Because I was just a younger comic. I didn't know much.
Right. That was a weird night for me.
I thought it was a great set, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great set.
I made some decisions that set. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah, can I finish my intro?
Oh,
or?
sorry. Yeah.
Anyway, being rude, and you're being the old Mark. I don't like it.
No, I'm not.
Old Mark?
There's no. If I was being old Mark, I would be like, Jesus, is this gonna? We can do a show? What-
That's true. That's true. So, so then what? Here's another. I'm a huge film guy, right? So I remember watching Almost Famous, and seeing Mark on the screen and going, like, just being blown away to see a stand-up in a movie like that with all those stars. It was a cool movie too.
and after 20 seconds, he's like, "Was that it? Was that?" Is that
You did no, but didn't you run?
I did.
Yeah,
I
you
drove,
run.
golf cart thing.
Golf course. Yeah,
Chased
yeah,
a bus.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
But as you know, when I saw Patton Oswalt on Magnolia, remember he was.
Oh yeah, he was in the pool.
pool, right?
Yeah.
When you see a stand-up being in a
And in the
really good
tree.
movie.
He was in the tree.
Yeah, right. In the scuba outfit, yeah. You just kind of go, oh, it's possible. Because
Yeah.
I've always wanted it, right?
Right.
And then he's also, so he, then I knew him through being sober.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's done a bunch. Glow. He's in the Aretha Franklin movie, The Joker. He's a pioneer when it
My
comes
own show, Maron.
WTF, his own show.
That one, too.
IFC.
He had his own show, IFC.
No,
Maron.
it's
So-
very rare. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
I have one of the only shows ever made that you can't actually find anymore.
You can't.
How is
find
that
it-
even fucking possible?
You can't see iTunes.
Yeah, maybe iTunes.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
3 seasons. People ask me, how can I watch it? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think? I keep track of this shit?
Wait, is IFC gone?
I don't know where IFC is. But You can't watch it on IFC because it was complicated. It was another studio. And I don't even know who owns it. All I know is that a few years ago, I got some back end check out of nowhere. And I'm like, wow, that worked out pretty well. It's surprise money
Yeah.
from a basic cable show.
So anyway,
Yeah.
he's a pioneer.
Okay.
You know, honestly, I don't think that we'd be doing TigerBelly without WTF. I think you guys paved the road for us. And the last thing I want to say, I know you don't like compliments because I give you these intros on stage. You don't like them.
That's all right. I know I like them.
I want to say that, you know, out of this older statesman of comedy, right, guys that I look up to, right, who are also sober as well, right, you've checked in with me more than anybody else because, you know, I've had a rough 3 or 4 months.
yeah.
You've just been so fucking available for me. Just even saying, what's up, how are you doing, you know what I mean? And to me, that just goes such a long way in my heart. Honestly, I want to thank you for that. And
I'm glad to do it.
yeah, it's you and that J.H. Harris, you know him?
I don't know if I know him.
Yeah, him too. But I want to thank both of you guys because you guys really got
All right, well,
two
he's
gu-
not here.
I know, but I want to thank him out loud.
Mark drove here
He's
in
not here.
traffic.
Yeah. But so thank you. So give Marc Maron a round of applause, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. No, I'm happy to be there for you. I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
I've always been. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was at some point you always get a little nervous around me or uncomfortable or think for some reason I'm saying something sarcastically when I'm not.
Yeah.
Like when I say I like a bit just because you're tired of it. Because you've been doing it a long time. You're like, okay, right, okay.
Yeah. Can I also say something that you did too?
Me?
Right?
Good.
I have never been invited
Oh, yeah.
to play Largo.
Yeah.
Right? And you invited me and being there. And then when I got off there, Zach was there, Galifianakis. He gave me a hug.
Yeah.
Right? And then the guy that runs it said, I want you to play
Lanny.
here more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Play here more. I think you're great. You know what I mean? It just made me feel so good because it's like a couple of years ago, it was the first time I ever did Montreal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I'm now getting invited to do things that I wasn't invited to before, right? It just made me feel like I'm wanted or I belong.
You're the only one that doesn't want you.
Oh,
That is true.
Wow.
Dude, it's so fucking true because
You're like, I'd say, let's go do work. You're like, I can't do. That's not my
I
place.
know,
But I know the feeling. I do it all the time too. Right now, I want to crawl out of my skin. I couldn't even deal with the day.
really.
Yeah, last night there was like there was 5 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. They're just sitting there
In front of your house.
in my house.
What flavors?
All of them, all the flavors. Like the kid, my girlfriend's sister sent them in a box because her kid, they were trying to unload them. So Kit says, send them to Mark. And they were sitting there, dude, maybe 6 boxes for like 2 months now. And I was on a diet. And look, I have food issues. I know I'm not fat. I'm not looking for compliments. But I have a problem. That's my problem.
Okay.
And last night was the night. It was just the night.
Did you go hog wild?
I went pretty wild. I opened up all the boxes, all of them, and had like 3 or 4 cookies at each. I didn't eat all 4 boxes, but I also ate half a coffee cake. So I mean, it was just it's not a, And I'm not. I don't feel like I'm in trouble.
But was there shame?
Oh yeah. But I think that I think this is where you and I have something in common. Where if we don't have a sort of constant current of shame, we don't know where to work from.
Yeah.
Like what are me and you going to do if we just feel good?
I know.
But
what I've been trying to do is
help me.
Because I always have to be doing something. Like I always have to be either watching something or on Twitter or doing something.
Yeah.
And today I did something new where I just kind of sat there, right? And I didn't do anything for at least a couple hours or hour and a half. I just kind of sit there and
squirm.
No, that's not me squirm. That's not me squirm.
Basically biting the inside of his cheek.
No. What I do is I try to touch whatever is around me and feel this hair, like the little furs on it.
Yeah.
All of my senses, look at things, smell things, and just try to be as present as possible. And that seems to be working. Even Monday when I got the physical done.
You got physical?
Bro, I almost died.
When?
During the physical?
No, the week before.
Oh.
In his mind.
In my mind.
He wasn't actually dying.
Bro, the night before.
I've so almost died in my mind so much.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So many times.
Dude, for me, I was Friday or Friday before.
Yeah.
I was in the night before I went to the treatment. It's outpatient, so I'm in a hotel. And I put my body next to the door because I felt like if I was gonna die, I needed to get out of the fucking hotel room so they could discover my body. Because
they'll come to clean.
I know, but the way they discovered Bob's body is the family called the hotel. He's not picking up his stuff, right? And then they had to break into the thing, and they discovered his body.
That's what I had to do to you when I hadn't heard from you till 8 p.m. and he was just stoned out of his mind.
On what?
You were in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
What were you stoned on?
I just smoked so much weed and drank so much alcohol in the last 4 months. But it's not that. It's just that when I do it, I start going into some sort of mania. I don't know. They can't figure out what it is, where I can't sleep or eat for months. And then I get so much anxiety that I can't leave the house. I can't do the simplest of things. And now that I have a month, I'm able to hike now and get out of the house. But like drugs and alcohol, when I put it in my body, right? It's not like heroin. It's not, meth. What happens is because I've had long-term sobriety.
Yeah.
When I'm in relapse and I'm doing it, I'm in trauma.
Yeah, because
it's traumatizing.
You shouldn't be doing it.
I know.
And every day it's just sort of like I'm doing it.
I know. It's a nightmare.
I can't. I'm just fortunate. At the beginning I was in and out, but I haven't really.
How much time do you have now?
It's a good question. Was it 23 years? This year is be 23.
Wow.
Right?
That's amazing, dude.
Wait, so 99. So I got sober in 99. So this year will be 23, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes,
23 years,
23.
Yeah, in August.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I feel better.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like even the success that I've had in my life, I have to equate it to being sober, because even though I'm a child of trauma, even though like I have a lot of issues and poor self-image and this and that, I think just being sober and it makes you be more present and to show up to things more. And I became addicted to comedy, doing stand-up. So that was a kind of a healthy addiction in the beginning.
Sure.
So it just kind of helped me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being sober. And that's why I have all the things that I have. I think maybe that's the reasons why you are where you're at now, do you think?
I don't know. I don't think so. But
He's like, don't
You don't think so at all?
well, in an odd way, maybe.
Yeah.
Because like I was an asshole sober, for a few years, right? So I got sober in 89 and Mishna got me sober, right?
99, yeah.
Yeah, in 99.
Yeah.
And, we ended up together. I just grabbed onto her and wouldn't let go. And then we ended up ultimately getting married.
Yeah.
But my career wasn't going great. And I was still angry and I was still trying to, we moved out here in 2002, right? Because of 9/11, she didn't want to live in New York anymore, and I couldn't get in anywhere. I wasn't a regular at the. I guess I was a regular at the Comedy Store, but my name wasn't on the wall.
Yeah,
it was only because I think comics respected me that Tommy acknowledged me in a weird way. Somebody had to talk me up, but the point being, so by the time I did the podcast, shit was not good, and it was not good. Like I'd done radio, I'd done as much comedy as I could. I was looking down the barrel at, being a B-room headliner for the rest of my fucking life, probably. I'd had all the shots, I had big management, but nothing was working out.
Yeah.
And then, Mishna leaves me and I start going bankrupt and I'm losing my mind. I've never been more depressed in my life. And I took a job at some radio outlet back at Air America, and I had them. The only reason when I took the job, I said in the contract, give me enough money to pay her off, so I don't go totally broke and have to sell my house. And they did. So I'm like, here's the money. Stop it. Wow. Divorce is terrible because they don't stop until the person with the money gives the money. So that's it. There's no justice. There's nothing's going to work out. It's like, give them the money they want.
Yeah.
And the lawyers will stop.
Fucking terrible.
It's right.
Yeah.
It's very traumatizing. So there I was, divorced, almost broke.
Yeah.
And I started the podcast. So did sobriety help me? Only because when I got sober, the woman who got me sober eventually left me with nothing. And I did the thing that turned my career around. Yes.
But do you think, though, right?
I didn't drink through any of that, so that's
right. That's a good thing. But can I just?
What?
My argument is this, all right?
No,
is that for me,
being sarcastic.
I know you are being sarcastic, but for me, do you think that all that was kind of planned, though, almost?
Are you saying like nothing happens in a mistake, nothing's a mistake in God's world or whatever?
Yeah.
That whole thing. You kind of got to look at it that way.
Yeah.
What's the other way? I got lucky. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's drink. You have to,
That's the way I look at it.
I know.
I look at it because I heard that when you were, and this could be in my mind that I built this thing about you, but I heard that maybe you went into your garage after the divorce, right? Yeah. And did you want to
kill myself? Well, I mean, that's like sort of that would be, I was definitely that depressed. And every day, like not unlike first getting sober, when she left and I realized she wasn't, I was fucking nuts, dude. I'm following around. I'm trying to figure out, who she fucking, how long was it going on for? I'm showing up at coffee shops where she's at. And she's like, I'm leaving. And I'm like, because I was one of the reasons she left was I was an emotionally abusive, raging fuck, right? So, how do you fix that? Yeah. But the thing is, and she'd had enough. And in retrospect, I get it. I know why she left.
Yeah.
I still don't quite understand why she had to make it so difficult for me, after the divorce in terms of taking all my money and crushing me. I mean, she had half of whatever, but she wanted the house, man.
Right.
So my house. So anyways.
Yeah.
But I was suicidal to the extent that I don't know, how serious you are about suicide, but certainly I've thought about it, but I didn't do it. And I've been pretty dark. So is it really suicidal? Or is it just something I do that makes me feel better? I used to do a joke, right? The joke where it's like, I'm suicide. I get suicidal, but like, it's not that I want to kill myself. I just feel better knowing I can if I have to. Like it's relaxing. The joke is sort of like, why does everything suck? I'm going to kill myself. back to work. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Self-pity, however it goes.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
There was something that I observed in you, a change.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So is that change something that happened during the podcast, or is that a change just in your overall happiness and your demeanor?
Yeah, I think so. Because I
used to go to the store and I used to look at you and go, "Oh, let's go this way."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
You know what I mean?
You mean like when I first got here?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that place, I was haunted by that place. I was traumatized by the Comedy Store. When I got there in 2002, I was still carrying so many of the ghosts that happened to me in the late 80s, you know, with the cocaine, with Kinison, with getting, kicked, not kicked out, but all I did so much, coke that I had psychosis. And I had psychosis at the store. So like I was walking around that place and like, I understand things that people can't see, and so, and like I had all that shit going on, man.
Yeah.
They were like, it was crazy, like I was crazy and I was psychotic, but I didn't know it because I was hanging around Kinison. I thought like I got, I'm part of this big picture. There's no synchronicity. There's no coincidence. All this is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And then finally, I got him mad at me and they kicked me out of the group and I lost my mind. I just remember.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
I didn't know you were kicked out.
Kinda.
But let me just.
That's a long story.
That's
That's a Satanist in the guitar story.
So
I've told you.
Stitch Fix. When it comes to looking good, Stitch Fix has you covered. Say goodbye to endless browsing and hello to fresh picks curated for your taste and size. Let me tell you guys something right now. I hate shopping, right? But I know what I like, right? So I like going to Stitch Fix, filling out the little quiz, and then they shop for you. You get in the mail a bunch of stuff, and you go, I like this shirt, I like this shirt, I like these pants. This one I don't like, and you just send it back. It's an amazing service.
You basically have your own stylist who curates all of your looks for you. And the great thing about it is if you're someone like Bobby who doesn't know how to return items, all you really have to do is put it back in this what do you call it, George? Self-addressed stamp. Self-addressed stamp. What do you call it? Yes, whatever George said. And then you just send it back. It's that easy.
Whether you need refined workwear or casual basics, Stitch Fix can help you elevate your look. You can schedule a fix, and Style Expert will send you 5 pieces that fit your style, size, and price range.
Get started today by filling out your free style quiz at stitchfix.com/belly and take advantage of free shipping and returns. That's stitchfix.com/belly to try Stitch Fix. stitchfix.com/belly.
When it comes to feeling good, BetterHelp is your therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. You guys, we all do BetterHelp therapy. We think it's the best service out there. Life is full of stressors, as you know. I've been through a lot in the last 4 months, and it doesn't matter who you are, what you have. Your life is probably stressful, and I think BetterHelp is for you.
You guys, check out betterhelp.com/belly for 10% off your first month. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
It is much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Unload the stressors and get some unbiased feedback. You'd be pretty surprised at what you might gain from it. See if it's for you.
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and TigerBelly listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/belly. That's BetterHelp.com/belly for 10% off your first month.
Who is in the group? Sam Kinison, Carl LeBeau. Mitchell, is that him? Mitch Mitchell, is that his name? Or?
Mitch Walters?
Mitchell Walters.
No, that was before. So when I was at the store and I was a doorman, Sam wasn't there. And I oddly didn't really like Sam. I thought it was sort of a gimmick. But
the screaming?
Yeah. Because I'd seen it on TV. I'm like, nah, and LeBeau was there, and he got back in town before. Yeah, all of it was very mystical to me. The whole Comedy Store, the fact that I was there, it was all fluke that I ended up getting the head doorman job, that Mitzi remembered me. It was all sort of a convoluted path to getting there, because I came out here after college to write a screenplay with my writing partner from college, Steve Brill. We wrote the screenplay. And there just happened to be another thing like it out there, but we could have gotten representation, but I didn't want to have anything to do with that guy anymore.
Yeah.
And I was out in Culver City, living in an apartment. And then like Pete Berg, both of those guys go on to be multi-million-dollar directors or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
One kind of hacky, the other one not so much. So, but then like Pete moves in, and I'm on the couch, and they're partying, and I'm this loser, like who I want to do comedy, and I'm kind of doing coke by myself.
Yeah.
And they're bringing girls over, and they wake me up on the couch and make me play guitar, and it's terrible.
Did
terrible
you smash
time.
back then or no?
Yeah, a little bit. I was, it was not.
You were a smash machine, huh?
No, that later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did it later. You did that later.
Yeah, you mean a fuck monster?
Yeah, you fuck myself. Yeah.
I'm not up on the current lingo.
Yeah.
I like Smash Machine better.
Yeah. But did you stay, and was it called Crest Hill?
I lived in Crest Hill, because that's what
All right,
happened.
I want to let people know what Crest Hill is. All right, so when I came to the store, Crest Hill was no longer, right?
It was a house that Mitzi owned up on the hill behind the Comedy Store that she would rent out to comics for years. Like she put them up. Like usually it was comics. I think the guy one of the gardeners or the maybe a cleaning lady's husband lived downstairs.
Yeah.
The sound guy lived there when I was there. But Dice had lived there. Tamayo lived
Atsuki,
there.
yeah.
Atsuki. Schubert was there for a minute. When I was there, who else? The Todd Lemish.
Oh, yeah, Todd. Yeah.
And Nancy Redmond.
Yeah, I know Nancy Redmond. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And Nancy Redmond and her obese boyfriend would kind of lumber up the hill.
Yeah.
But
But you would hear like mythical stories about the place, probably just through rumors.
all I know is we did so much coke up there. Because when I was
That's
there,
the mythology. That's it. That's what I heard.
But not so much before me. It was because what had happened was over time is that Sam took a liking to me, and I thought I was Mr. Coke Outlaw when I got there from college.
Yeah.
Because after Culver City, what happened was I started doing PA work. Like just getting jobs on shoots because I met somebody out, and it's sort of a community of people. They get you jobs, right? And I remember I did a shoot for this thing called Kids Songs out at the docked Circus Vargas. It's
I can't imagine.
the worst. It was just like, and I was staying up all night doing blow. And
Yeah.
I'm going to this set where it's like it's the circus, but they're not active.
Yeah.
But they're shooting all these little kids songs, with kids and
Yeah.
stuff. And I just remember a couple things about it that like the director seemed like he was jacked on blow. And there's all these kids all over the place. And I remember they were feeding the lions and the tigers, and there was just like a truckload of like horse parts, just like huge chunks of horse meat, and they're just throwing it in.
No, real. Wow.
And the best part, and I tried to always make this work on stage, but it didn't really. I just remember, like there were two clowns that were the Circus Vargas clowns.
Yeah.
And they're hanging out all day, and I'm doing the dumb errands or whatever I got to do. And I remember at the end of the day, the clowns are like, "You want to come to our trailer and get high?" And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." So I go to this trailer,
Yeah.
and the dude's like rolling a joint. I'm like, "You're gonna have to take the makeup off. I'm not gonna be able to do this if you guys are going to sit there in the makeup. We're going to have to get human here because I'm not going to get stoned with clowns.
That would
and
be
makeup.
weird.
Yeah, right.
That would be fucking weird.
So anyways, I get this job on a shoot that Mitzi's producing. This is the thing. And when I first got in LA, when I drove out here, I'd auditioned at the store, and I did a set at the Improv for nobody. And I didn't really know anybody, but I did go up at the store. And I got this PA job, and this is like it's all working out coincidentally because like the guys in Culver City pushed me out of the apartment, and I didn't know how to function as an adult. I don't know how to look for a house. I didn't know how to do anything. Right? I didn't.
Yeah.
That's what comics are. You just released into the wild, and it's sort of like, do I have to buy a futon? So, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't know how to rent an apartment or anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, Steve's uncle owned the building, and the woman down the hall needed a roommate because someone had moved out. Yeah. And they're like, "Yeah, why don't you just move down there?" And I'm like, "This is so sad." And I'm like, so I just went down there and I talked to her, and I moved into her house.
Wow.
That didn't end well. So what happened? I can't remember the timeline, but So I'm doing this PA work for Mitzi, and she's shooting all these short things for this. She used to own the restaurant. There was a Barrymore's across the street where the House of Blues was.
Yeah.
Used to be this old house that she had made into a restaurant that was a failure.
Yeah.
She was selling dinner packages for the main room, and there was never anyone in there. There's a bar and an empty restaurant. It's beautiful, but it was empty.
Yeah.
And all the people that were there were in these sketches. It was for some sort of TV network she was trying to do.
Yeah.
And Danny Stone was, her boyfriend at the time, and he was
my God.
just sweaty and hey, well, how are you? With the, doing his Rodney impression. But all I remember is like, I get this job. I can't believe it's for Mitzi. And I remember walking up to her, just finding a moment and going, Mitzi, do you remember me? I auditioned for you. And she's like, oh, yeah. Right. And I'm like, okay, great. And she goes, go talk to Becker. You can be a doorman.
Wow.
So that was it. She remembered me.
Yeah.
So I went up to Becker, Mike Becker,
Yeah.
her assistant, and I said, Mitzi said I could be a doorman. He's like, oh, great. Do you want to be head doorman? I'm like, okay, which is shitty because then you got to be the boss of all these comics who are doormen and they don't even want to be doormen. And I had to get them jackets. It was
Yeah.
stupid.
Can I tell you? Can I tell
What?
you real quick before I forget what happened to Mike Becker?
What?
So
He's alive, right?
he's still alive, but
He had eating.
but the way Mitzi fired him, he was going into hip surgery, and then she fired him.
That guy lived in her ass. The nerve, the nerve of that woman.
I know it was shocking to all of us, but that's how she used to fire people.
He was such a sad puppy.
He's going into surgery. Fire him.
I was doing. She tried to get me. It was so ridiculous. The whole thing was. I was only there almost a little less than a year. So, anyways, this all times out good because I tried to fuck my roommate, who had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I drank all her champagne that she had bought for the holidays, and they literally. There was literally an intervention. All her friends and her boyfriend like got together and told me I had to leave.
Wow.
And then I told Becker or somebody said, I don't have anywhere to live. And he asked Mitzi if I could live at Crest Hill. Then I moved to Crest Hill.
Oh wow. That's when you met Sam then?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I was already working there.
Yeah.
Because I remember having sex with a waitress out in Culver City.
Yeah.
Which was a long haul from Hollywood, right?
But what was because I remember when I first met Pauly.
Yeah.
I used to owe for him, so we did a tour that Sam did. And
I was there for Sam's peak. I was there when he broke, basically. Because when I was there, Sam came back for the road. Carl had taken a liking to me and given me a watch. And I was at doorman. And it was like this weird ritual. It was all fucked up. So Sam comes back and I had to go pass the test. I was living up in Crest Hill. So Sam comes up and he's like, let's do some blow. So it's me and Sam. It's me and Sam sitting at this big table in Crest Hill, going one-on-one. I was like, look me in the eye, Maron.
fucking legendary.
I can't trust anybody that doesn't look me in the eye for hours. And then then he's like, you ever burn money? And I'm like, no.
You remember? Yeah.
So we're burning money.
Yeah.
We're doing blow.
You ever
And then,
burn-
and this is like the first time I meet him. And then like, it was so funny because we're running out of blow. And
Yeah.
like he would drink as much as he did blow. Like, so he's wobbly. He's like, we got to get some more Coke. And I'm like, okay. It's like 3 in the fucking morning. I love this story because like, and he's like, all right. I'm like, what do we do? Do we call somebody? He's like, no, let's go. Let's go in your car. So we get in my car. It's the middle of the night. We're jammed. He's drunky and coked up.
Yeah.
And I'm driving my little Toyota. And we're going to this guy's house, not far away. Greg, he was the guy. I got to know Greg. He's still alive. He's in Portland. He's in the shoe business. So, anyways, I don't know about the other guy. The other guy got kind of scary.
Yeah.
But he's still alive too because he reached out once and I was like, no, I'm gonna. But Greg was okay. He was a hairdresser. So I'm driving Sam.
Yeah.
I don't know him. So I'm driving. He's passing up my car, and it's only at Crescent Heights. We're driving Sunset to Crescent Heights.
Yeah.
And like he passes out and he wakes up in the car. He goes, "I don't even know you. You could kill me." And I'm like, "Dude, where are we going?" So we get to this apartment on Crescent Heights, right? And I don't know Greg. And Sam's buzzing it like, "Let's go. And it's like I just hear a groggy voice go, "Okay," and bang, the buzzer comes up. And we get up to this apartment, and this guy opens the door. He's in a bathrobe, and he's like, "Shh, don't wake my roommate up." I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?" And we go into this room, his bedroom, and Sam's like, "You got any booze?" And for some reason, all he had was miniatures from the plane. So he's like, I just got these miniatures. So Sam takes like a little Smirnoff. And it's like, and then he just sits down on the floor, and this big old fat Sam in his dumb overcoat, like he's drinking this little miniature
fucking
bottle,
amazing.
little bottle of Smirnoff.
Fucking amazing.
And then like he just passes out. He just passes out on the floor. And I'm looking
And
at
this is the Sam Kinison he's already big.
He's big, but it's before the HBO special. But he's big.
But he already done Rodney?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he's the biggest star in comedy. This
Wow,
guy.
wow,
So now
wow.
so now, and he always just sweep on the floor up at Crest. It was so crazy. But so anyways, so he passes out.
Yeah.
And I don't know Greg, and I'm standing there with this hairdresser in his bathrobe. He's just giving me a Bendel, a blow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll just take off. And he's like, get him out of here. I don't, and I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? He's like, I don't want him to pull a Belushi on me.
Oh,
like, so there's the beautiful Coke dealer logic. He's not dying here. He can die in your car, but not in my house.
Wow.
So I had to drag Sam back into the car, get him back to the house, and then he just passed out on the floor. He loved sleeping on the floor, that guy. And he would be sleeping on the floor because we do 2 or 3 day runs, up there. Because it was like Monday night was no cover night, and I became this sort of like Coke.
Water.
What is
George knows how to turn it off.
Turn it up. Sorry, sometimes the water goes off, and I'm so sorry, Mark.
No, it's all right. It's part of it.
It's TigerBelly.
Okay, so anyways, so here's the deal. So the sweeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, Monday night was no cover night.
Yeah.
And Sam, that was Sam's night, right? I don't remember when that ended. I think it was Monday night. Then.
Yeah.
So all the rooms.
So there was a club at Westwood as well. Was that gone?
Westwood was long gone. She tried to open one in Universal City, but that didn't work.
Yeah.
And she had the Dunes still, right? But Westwood was gone. This was like 87, right?
Okay.
I think.
I
Yeah.
wish I would have played that room.
So-
you never played that room then.
The Westwood?
Yeah.
No. So Sam, Monday night was no cover night, and all the rooms were free. So all the freaks would come. And Sam would show up like 11:30, 12, and it was just like all the porn stars, all the rock people would come up from the Roxy. The place was crazy, full of coke. And my job was to, like, Sam would come up to me,
Yeah.
and he'd give me like $300, and I would go get the house set up. I'd go buy the booze, the cigarettes, the mixers. I would just get all this shit. I'd go up to Crest Hill and prepare for him to show up with the freaks, with the entourage of weirdos.
Wow.
But the point being that sometimes they go on for 2 or 3 days, and you'd see whole casts of people come and go during these coke runs, and he would end up sweeping on the floor. So, like, I just remember that everyone would be gone, but Sam would just be on the floor by himself, and it was sad. And I remember one time I'd met some girl at Johnny Rockets or something. She worked there, and we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out on a date,
Yeah.
And it was during the day, so we go out to lunch. I come back and I'm showing her the cool house I'm living in, and I'm like, "This is my room. This is the dining room. This is where the parties are." And that's Sam. He's
On the ground.
that's the biggest star in comedy. He's sleeping
Wow.
on his back, on his stomach, on the ground.
Yeah. Did Sam and Dice not like each other back then?
There was a competition of some kind.
Yeah.
It was a rivalry, but like I don't know what their history was because, they came up. Dice is one of the originals almost, and Sam. So they were all there together. They know all the stories about each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the full background of it is, but I used to live in Dice's old room. So he came up once. He's like, "Oh, you ever get a blowjob in the tub?" And I'm like, "I haven't gotten a blowjob in the tub." Because my room was the only room with its own bathroom. And it's a beautiful room.
Because I find Dice to be very lovely.
I love him.
I love him too. He's very kind and I don't know what he was like in his heyday.
Dude,
Probably nightmare, but
You know what? He just doesn't take any bullshit. He's not a druggie, and he's like it's about Dice. He's not going to let anyone fuck with him.
yeah.
But that night, do you know the story about when Jimmy got put in jail?
No,
that was the
Jimmy
best.
who?
Schubert.
No.
It's so funny.
I mean,
It's
so
like
what-
I'm a door guy.
so what
We're
happens-
up, and
so what? Yeah.
I'm living with the Todd. He's doing blow all the time. He used to wake up like he had these mountains of Kleenex, of used Kleenex next to his bed, just because his septum was all fucked up. It was just crazy. Up there.
Yeah.
One night Mitzi would buy shit for the house, like she had humans living up there. Like she bought all these patio furniture, fancy umbrellas. They were broken in a day. One night we're all fucked up and we're burning wicker furniture. There's a gas fireplace up there, and we're just putting the furniture in.
Wow.
It was nuts.
Crazy.
But anyways,
I literally during that time, I probably would have died.
so yeah,
Imagine me up there, I would have died.
I don't know who went down. Anyone? There were times where like the blackouts thing. People who were coming and going. It got a little, but a lot of them lived, man. Like there was a guy who used to take pictures, and like I was concerned about him, but he's around.
Yeah.
So,
But did you But were you sad when Carl died?
yeah. I mean, I was, of course, it's terrible, but, those guys weren't easy on me. I had a lot of creepy resentment towards them because, they fuck with your head. Sam was like a bully and a mind fucker. And, and he actively tried to ruin my career once he got mad at me for whatever he got mad at me for, which was abstract and cokey and dumb. You operate in this world of drama that's based on petty bullshit. And, he literally told certain places not to work me, and I'm 22. I barely got 15 minutes of work.
Mark, you and I are so similar in so many ways. I mean, I can't name the guy, but I had a guy as well, right, who actively, when he was a big guy, who actively went out of his way, and I had no power at the time.
Yeah.
And I was young. You almost feel like, especially back then, there weren't a lot of gatekeepers almost, right? Now it's like, there's so many jobs, so many clubs. There's so many ways to work.
Yeah, there was no gatekeepers, and no one wanted to come to that club.
Yeah, no one did. Yeah,
and it was like this weird fucking hole. And if you even had your shit together enough to understand an opportunity, like
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like a manager came to see me, like saw me at the Comedy Store for some freakish reason. I jumped on stage in the OR because someone did show up, and this manager gives me their card, and I'm like, what do I do with this?
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
just wanted to be a comic. I'm
Yeah.
like, should I call this guy?
Yeah. I mean, I've had like set up showcases back in the day for like people and agents. They wouldn't go there. They go do it at the Laugh Factory or do it at the Improv.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do it at the store.
We're not going to the dark hole.
Yeah, but now though it's
Great.
completely
No, it's great.
It's so great.
So, anyways, it's the middle of the night, man, and me and Todd are up at Crest Hill, and we get a call. It's Schubert. They busted him and they put him down in the Beverly Hills precinct. He's in jail.
Yeah.
Because he got into a fight in the parking lot of the Comedy Store. I don't know, but it's late at night.
Yeah,
It's like 2:30. It was after the place closed.
Yeah.
So me and Todd are sitting there, and I'm like, "What are we gonna do? I ain't got no money. How are we gonna get him out of there?" And Todd goes, "Let's call Andy." And I'm like, "Andy? Yeah, let's call Dice." I'm like, "Okay." So he calls Andrew Silverstein. He calls Dice, and Dice says, "Oh yeah, I was just up counting quarters. I'll meet you down at the jail." Like, what's he talking about? What the fuck? Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll go meet him down there. So Todd and I go down to the jail, and Dice shows up with a bag full of quarters. He's got like a giant bag of quarters. He was counting quarters. And, yeah, I guess he was rolling them. So he's there in like a muscle tee.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was into the capri pants yet, but he might have been wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
And he just drops these quarters onto the counter, and he starts making piles of quarters to bail Jimmy out.
With quarters?
Really? How much was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it's just
That's
the idea
so funny.
that he was counting quarters and he brought them. Was to me just beautiful. I always love Dice. I like when he just talks.
Yeah, when I was a backdoor guy there, I didn't know him at all.
Yeah.
And I was wearing the Comedy Store T-shirt, and the guy walks up to me and goes, he used to call me Ching.
Yeah. That's what I always said. I said, don't get too close to Dice because you'll get a nickname.
Yeah. So
Just don't.
But one day I go, it's racist, and he goes, no, it's money, Cha-ching, right? So
Here we go.
Sure.
George, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
It's that.
So he goes, Ching, get in the car. I'm working. I'm fucking working.
Get in the car.
Get in the car. I go, where are we going? Vegas. And I go, well, do you have to? He goes, I already told them. He flies me to Vegas, first class. I'm at the Bellagio with him for like 5 days, right?
Opening?
No, he's just gambling.
You're just hanging out?
I'm just gambling, right? I have no money. I don't have a bank account. I have no money. I used to take Comedy Store checks and go to a cash checking place for my money, right?
He thought you were his lucky Asian.
That's what he thought, right? He goes, "You're lucky." He lost $300,000 in 5 days, and then for a year after that, he wouldn't talk to me because he thought I was bad luck. I didn't fucking know you, bitch. You came to me. You came to me, and you gave me trauma, right? For a whole year, he did that.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But I love. But it also made me feel like these guys were kind of like above the law and they could just do whatever they want. I just kind of like,
They kind of were.
yeah, that kind of
I
feeling.
mean, I don't know that they weren't above the law, but they were certainly willing to push their luck.
yeah.
Like all the comics, the old guys, half of them. I used to know a guy who moved to Boston, and he didn't want his name in the paper, and he didn't want his name on the marquee because he owed back taxes and child support.
God.
So
Wow.
and that's actually how he got busted. He was doing a morning radio show, and someone heard him and told his ex-wife.
Yeah.
He ended up dying, that guy. But oh my God.
he died.
Frankie Bastille. He died later, but there was such an element in comedy in the '80s of guys who were just barely ahead of the law,
Yeah.
or really didn't want to be responsible for anything. Just wanted to stay on the road, stay out there, borderline criminals, like
Yeah.
preachers in comics. And Sam wanted to be a preacher, But anyways,
But comics also, it's a group of people that have, a lot of them have had kind of dark paths.
just social problems.
Social problems, yeah.
Can't fit into a regular thing. I didn't know how to live like a person forever.
Well, there's certain things. That's why we invited you, because we want you on the podcast. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're one of the biggest guys. But also, I look at you like a professor. Just hear me out. You look like a professor
Yeah.
to me. You're right. I look up to you,
Thank
and there's
you.
certain things that people know that I don't know how to do.
Yeah.
And I want you to teach me.
Like what?
Well, that's why we have the thing.
Oh.
So honestly, I refuse to learn how to read that type of clock.
He doesn't
Yeah.
know how to do it.
I don't know how to do
He
it.
doesn't know how to
No.
read time.
I refuse. Yeah, I'm digital, baby.
It's all digital.
It's all digital for me.
Are you what? Are you dyslexic?
I'm not dyslexic. No. I'm
We
not
don't
dyslexic
know.
At all. Yeah,
You don't know?
We don't know.
Uncertain.
I have a lot of problems. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I could have a mood disorder.
You have for sure adult ADHD.
For sure. I have. I might have bipolar too. Maybe.
Maybe.
We don't know yet. But there are certain things that I refuse to learn, but I'm willing to learn now.
Okay.
All right. And so the only one that I feel like can teach me is you. I won't refuse for these guys to teach
We've
me.
tried for years.
They've tried for years, and I won't even
unsuccessfully.
listen.
What do you mean? It's like
I know, but that's why I want
Okay,
you.
okay,
That's
okay.
why you're fucking here.
to teach you how to read a clock?
Oh, different things. I have different things I don't know about.
That's why you're here.
That's why you're here.
Here, let me hold it.
But isn't it just basically the?
I don't know any of it, man.
All right.
Sorry for
Is that old Bob?
Right. I know.
That's old Bob. I'm so sorry. That was relapse Bob.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't because there was a vulnerability to the screaming.
Ah.
That is true.
That's new.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
I was
it
crying
wasn't,
for help. I
It
was
wasn't
crying for help.
defensive.
It was all right.
Usually it's defensive.
Is this supposed to be like this? It's supposed to go ahead of it?
No.
Like
That's It's bent.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So let me just say something.
So what time is it right now? Look at your digital.
It's 4:45.
Okay, so put the little hand on the 4.
I feel like I'm watching
This one right here?
a
Yeah.
kid show.
No, the little one.
This one?
Yeah, put that on the 4.
Should be a PBS.
There you go. Now put the big one. Hey, what'd you say? 4:45?
Yeah.
Put it on the 9. Okay. Now you know why that's like that?
You know why that's like that?
Why?
Well, the 4 is self-explanatory, right?
It's 4. Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock.
Right.
Now the 9 is because, do you see how the clock has little dots all around it?
Yeah.
There's 60 minutes in an hour.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
By the way, I know that.
Okay, good.
I know that.
Okay, so at what minute?
So what you're
So
saying to me right
so minute 1 starts at the 12.
Don't give up. Don't give
Look.
up, Bobby.
I know. I think I got it.
Look, minute 1 starts at the 12. So if it's on 9, what minute is that?
All right. So
If there's
9:45.
there you go.
Oh, we should make
So
it do-
4:45.
That's 4. So okay, let's see. This is 3.
45.
This is 3:30.
Right. That's right.
This is 3:40.
Yes.
Let me test you.
All right.
Turn around.
Mark's voice. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's fucking easy.
Why are you digital for so long?
Pretty fucking easy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what time is it?
Is that? Wait. So this is. Wait. Why is this? So this is at a
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so,
Is
yeah.
it at 12? Or
Yes, yes.
12. And this is here.
Yes.
12:10.
Right. There you go.
But what happens if this is?
Okay, what about this?
What if this is here in the middle of 12 and 1?
Well, they won't be there unless it's 12:30.
Oh. Okay.
How about this?
Okay.
How about this, Bobby? How about this?
What? That is 12, right?
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. Right.
Congratulations.
12:54.
Yeah.
Did it.
Yeah, but
Wow.
digital is so much easier.
Sure.
It's so much easier. Can we admit that?
Yeah. But like I didn't have digital. I grew up. I learned from that.
That's so easy.
You really? This is the first time that you?
I swear to God, that's
50
so
years, man.
Come
fucking
on.
easy, dude. When you want to learn something, you want to master. Master class is for you. Go ahead.
You guys. Guess who's on Masterclass?
Oh, so many people.
None other than our friend and chef extraordinaire,
Roy Choi.
Roy Choi?
Yes, and he doesn't. What I love about his masterclass is that he's not trying for you to like measure this, measure that. He's having you like cook and learn to cook from the inside with your
guts.
instinct, from your gut.
Oh, like when I make my potos.
When you make your potos.
Yeah. So, you guys, Masterclass is amazing because you get the greatest teachers in their field to teach you a variety of things, right?
Yeah.
About science, about writing scripts, about music, whatever it might be, right? This is the place to learn from a master.
A real master.
A real master.
Like Roy Choi.
Or like Marc Maron, who we just had.
Marc Maron has a masterclass?
No, but he is a master.
Oh.
Okay.
You should have one. Right?
Gotcha,
That's my
gotcha.
point, right?
Yeah.
Masterclass is accessible on your phone, web, or smart TV, offering classes on a wide variety of topics, all taught by world-class masters at the top of their fields. Each class is broken out into individual video lessons, usually around 10 minutes long.
You can learn how to write anything from a book or a screenplay, or even just to write a letter. Learn how to communicate with your boss or your family. You can learn how to make a dinner worthy of a Michelin star. You're into
Oh, my
stars,
Lord,
Bobby.
how mercy on my soul. Let me
Or even just how to make really good scrambled eggs, because you don't know how to do that either.
We recommend you check it out. Get unlimited access to every masterclass. And as a TigerBelly listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/belly now. That's masterclass.com/belly for 15% off masterclass.
Wow, I learned that.
What about long division?
No, I don't. I will refuse to do that, right?
Math, I can't help you with.
Yeah. In fact, when I was in place I was at,
Yeah.
I went into a little mania where I couldn't sleep for 5 days.
Yeah.
And she told me to read a book. I've never read a book before.
What? This is just recently?
Last week or 2 weeks ago.
You never read a book before?
Well, I think I read No Exit by
pretend.
Sartre, or
That's not going to help you.
or I read
Great power.
I
I think I
that's
read
a-
Fear and Trembling by Kierkegaard.
You
I think
Yeah,
No Exit's a play.
it's a play. Yeah,
And
but,
Fear and Trembling is
but what's the last? Hell, there's other people,
hell is other people.
and I really agree with that.
Yeah.
yeah,
A few, some.
yeah,
Yeah.
But like I can like
Book is, the play's kind of boring, I think. About a bunch of people can't get out of a room.
Yeah, okay. I've never read Descartes' Meditations.
Well, I mean,
but I know I think therefore I am is in the Meditations.
Sure, somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So at least I know that.
Why philosophy books?
Because I really was in my early 20s before stand up, and I was sober as well, right?
Yeah.
I was really depressed. So I was really into like,
Trying to figure out why.
Not only that, I like to read like Dostoevsky and like,
Ooh, it took me a long time to
Notes
read
from
that.
the Underground.
I read Crime and Punishment. It's very hard to keep the names in there.
yeah.
Those Russian names, man.
But what I loved about Notes from the Underground was here's a guy, right?
Yeah.
And he lives in a cellar,
Yeah.
kind of like, right? And there's like a little opening to the street, right? And
Yeah.
the guy just kind of like, I think most of the book is internalized to how he's feeling about society and how he feels about
Sure.
himself. And I just enjoyed his perspective and his darkness about it. And I think then later I got into more, new agey things, you know what I mean? Like spiritual laws.
But what book did you read for your first book?
I read, I didn't finish it, but I went to page 110.
Yeah.
And it's called
impressive.
Crawdads Sing.
Where?
Where the Crawdads Sing. Have you ever heard of it? Mm-mm. Yeah, it's about this poor Southerners in the 50s. But my
I thought we were going to have to start him because of the clock thing. I thought maybe his second book would have to be The Cat in the Hat. Or something. We really got to start from the beginning with
Green
it.
egg,
right,
green
but
egg,
I
Yeah.
but honestly, like I think I'm going through a transformation.
Yeah. You're becoming a butterfly.
Or Phoenix. I'm reborn,
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah, like Phoenix is better for me. My mom lives there. But my point is that it's just the connection. But
Yeah. Rising from the ashes
yeah.
of you.
So what I've learned, right, is that I have there's these old tapes, this internal dialogue that I'm a piece of shit. You know what I mean? But what else? I do is I bully people around me. Right?
You do?
I do. I'm a real bully on this podcast. I make fun of people the way they look. You know what I mean? I bring up personal things. Sometimes I'll do things to hurt people. Right?
Don't they know how to do it to you? It's so easy.
I do, but then because I know that's a fuck. I know that is
Examples?
I know. What is the one thing?
But you have this thing called jester privilege.
Which is what?
It's sort of like, even when you do bully, no one takes you seriously.
Mm.
So it doesn't quite land the way you want it to
Oh,
land,
'cause you
which
don't-
frustrates you even more.
Oh, because he doesn't have the hate.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have the fury of being threatened.
Yeah. But I also don't ever really know how I'm feeling, really, you know? And I have various ways of like, you know.
I think you're getting better at that, though.
I am.
Yeah.
I feel like I am. And I feel like I just want to be different in comedy, right? And different in the way I live my life and the way I approach. Because I'm telling you right now, this last relapse, Mark, for me was so fucking bad. I literally thought I was going to die. I literally was spinning so out of control internally that like I was just a shell of the person that I thought I was. And I need to do it differently. I can no longer drift away from 12-step groups. I can no longer, you know, not feel my feelings and not set boundaries and also just to tell people, you know, how I really feel about them. You know, and that's why I needed you for this podcast because I just got out.
Yeah.
Right. And I just think that you were the perfect person to have right now because I want to I want to change. And the reason why I have you on is because there's definitely a change in you.
Yeah.
You're a completely different guy.
Yeah.
And there's a pride too that like, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
You're with the movies.
Huh?
What?
You're doing big things, you know, things.
Yeah, but you
I
don't.
know,
You see that differently than me.
No, I see it. No,
I think you're doing big things.
I know I am.
Yeah. So like whenever you say that to me, you say it in a tone like you're not doing anything.
No, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is this. I'm looking at you, right, and going, because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Before TigerBelly,
Yeah.
right, I couldn't get an audition.
Really?
No. You know what I mean? And since TigerBelly, I'm getting auditions for everything.
Right. I mean,
And
you came up to
opportunity.
me, you didn't know if you could do a role, and I'm like, just act.
That was Sex in the City.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
You're like, it's not me, man.
Yeah, I went up to you because I look up to you
Yeah.
and you go, fucking just, you told me about that Southern movie that you did.
Oh,
where
the
you had to do-
Texan?
where you do the
The Texan accent.
The
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah.
And then when you go, well, I had to do a Texas accent. Will you do some for us?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I can get it back. I don't know if I can get it back.
Yeah, but what movie was that?
It's called To Leslie. It's premiering at South by Southwest.
Oh, it's not out yet.
No.
Wow.
And I think I did okay. You know, I didn't overdo it. It was mild.
Yeah. Well, you did it as real as you could.
Right. I don't remember what I said to you, but I probably was just sort of like show up and, don't be you. Just do it.
But that's what, it sounds dumb.
Yeah.
But sometimes I need to hear that from somebody that has the same background as me.
Well, yeah, because we're comfortable and we want what for me with that thing is that like people eventually they'll hire you for you to do the thing you do. And it's probably the thing you're probably sick of. And it doesn't really challenge you really. And the truth is that, you have presence and you're going to be present to do the work, but you just saw I think you were literally like, this guy's not as funny as me. And it bothered you. You took it as an insult of some kind. It's like, I don't want to be this guy. He's not even that good.
There is some of that.
Yeah.
Because you watch, I watch certain things where comics or actors get to just improvise and have fun, right?
Yeah.
And there are just certain parts where it's like it has to be by the way we wrote it. Mm-hmm. It has to be with the speed and cadence, right? It has to be this tone, and then it's like you have all these rules, and then you're going into a high pressure situation where it's like oh, Sarah Jessica Parker and this and that, right? And you're meeting people for the first time,
Yeah.
And then sometimes the lines are written not the way you normally talk,
Right.
right? So it's like you have all these things, but you were right. I just flew to New York, and I just did it.
But the gift is like, the weird thing about doing those things where once you get on set and you realize everyone's just a person and it is what it is that the thing is like, as a comic and as some guy who's acted before, you know how to get present and shut all that shit off. The only difference between us and regular people is that, if you can do it, be on a set with 50 people and still just talk like this, that's 90% of it.
That is.
You know what I mean?
That is.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I think you're right.
The thing that kills me about them, though, when you're on these sets with these real actors,
Yeah.
Real actor.
I know. Right?
is that like they're not doing anything. Like you're just looking at it's sort of like
Right.
they're like, but they have because they're movie stars and they're so good at it.
Yeah.
They know that they don't have to do much. There's just this natural thing to it. But they're based. Some of them are sort of like, hey, what's going on? You're like, that's how loud they're talking. Because like,
Yeah.
we're comics and we're like, hey, what's everybody doing? You're like, oh, it's all
Yeah.
mic, dude. You can just take it down.
All right. Yeah. What also is when you fear you're making a mistake,
Yeah.
and then like I've heard. I mean, I did a couple scenes with Ben Kingsley once,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and he goes, "What's my line?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when he did that, I was just like, "Oh,
Yeah. Fuck it.
he doesn't know."
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nobody knows.
No one
Nobody
knows
knows
what they're
nothing.
But this is-
they're just as scared.
Right.
Sometimes they're just as scared. Sometimes.
But worse than that, they're just fucking actors.
I know. I realize that.
But it's a weird thing because if you grow up loving movies and shit,
Yeah.
you think they're like heroes.
I know.
But they're just these people that are getting away with something.
they're getting away.
That's all
That's
we
what
do.
he is, yeah.
That's all we do. That's our job.
Yes. Got away with it.
We fooled them
We-
again.
Oh my God. That's what it is.
I know.
That's what it all is, Gilbert. You know?
That's
'Cause
what
he's an actor as well.
Sam used to say that. Fooled him again. Fooled him.
What? Sam Kinison used to say that? Oh my God.
Someone else has said it too. I can't remember who. It's. I've heard it before.
Yeah.
But I mean, Janine had it really right. Like on some level, she told me I don't know who told her, but she's just like, I'm like, how do you act? She's like, it's just pretending
yeah.
and lying.
You're lying.
But once like what I was going to say though, and why I was able to advise you the way I did, was only because like I knew that I would keep getting asked to do these roles where I'm the cranky guy, the angry Jewish guy, or just the dude that's the lovable crank. And I wanted to challenge myself because I thought to myself, like, if acting is something I want to do, I should feel like I'm doing it. Like I can go be me,
Yeah.
and give me some lines. I'm sure, oh, get out of there, whatever. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I could do that. I'm able to be present and listen.
Yeah.
But I thought, like, well, I need to like engage a craft of some kind for me to feel like this is exciting. Because to be honest with you, man, when you're on a set, for me, it's sort of like, how much longer?
Yeah.
What am I just supposed to eat craft?
Yeah.
Go sit in a fucking trailer by
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
I'd rather talk to the sound guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they're liars. They're like,
Of course.
6 in the morning
course.
call time, right? It's 7 p.m. now, right? Don't fucking lie to
Haven't
me.
even started.
It's a lie.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to you in. I think we're gonna get to you in about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
4 hours later, and I know now that that's just show business. But before, I literally had to stop myself from going back to the set and just being like, "What's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening?"
Yeah.
So
One time I did a movie where I had to lay down as a dead person.
Oh, yeah.
Right, as a dead person. They move cameras to another set. No one tells. I'm still laying there. I'm fucking still laying there.
4 hours later.
that's the best. You can't get a ride, and they don't wake you up.
Yeah.
But the point being
Yeah.
that I wanted to engage. I wanted to do some work on it other than just memorizing and making choices around lines. So like this director who wanted me to do this part of this Texan guy, this kind of beat up guy, I was like, it's peak COVID. And I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to do it. I didn't know why he kept bothering me. Because it's like, it's his first movie. The star of the movie who I'm playing against is this English actress who's insanely good.
Yeah.
Andrea Riceborough.
Wow.
And like Stephen Root's in it, Allison Janney, and I'm not threatened by like I've worked with stars before. That wasn't the issue. The issue was it's like this guy's a Texan guy right? And I told the director, because Chelsea, he's friends with Chelsea Handler, so now she's bothering me. Chelsea's like, she's like, this guy Michael really likes you, and he's a good friend of mine. I think you should do it. I'm like, what? How'd you get my number? So like, I'm kidding. And she has my number. I like Chelsea.
I love her too.
But the thing is that, so I got on the phone with the guy. I'm like, why do you want me so bad?
Yeah.
Why am I the guy? And he's like, I just really I liked your TV show, Maron. I'm like, oh, you're a fan of that. So he's saying the right things. Like, no one watched that. But and I'm like, okay, he's a British guy. He directs a lot of Better Call Sauls and Breaking Bad. He's from that world. And I'm like, all right, but I don't know about this accent, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, well, we'll deal with it later. Yeah, don't worry about the accent. But then when I hung up, I'm like, well, then why am I doing this? If I'm not going to try to do the accent, he clearly is just like, so they get me a dialect coach, and she gives me some, pointers, and I've got a pronunciation sheet so I can get my head back into it.
Wow.
She decided it would be a Lubbock accent, which is weirdly specific, and apparently the only real good example of it is Mac Davis. So I'm watching footage of Mac Davis talking.
Wow.
The guy from the 70s. He was a singer, and he was also in Semi Tough with North Dallas 40 with Nick Nolte. Yeah, he's been in a few movies.
Great.
Yeah. There he is, that guy.
Wow.
So there's pictures of him talking, and she decided that was the Lubbock accent. And I knew this guy because I liked North Dallas 40 is a great movie.
It's a football movie, right?
Yeah, but
I never saw it.
It's
but...
Nick Nolte, a young Nick Nolte. It's great.
Okay, I'll watch it.
It's just entertaining. And he used to be a singer, and my dad had his greatest hits in the car. Mac Davis's greatest hits on 8-track. Yeah. Kiss an angel, good morning.
Yeah.
Tell her that you love her when you get back home.
Oh, I saw him perform.
Who?
Your band.
Oh, yeah. Oh, at Largo?
At Largo.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it, right?
Yeah.
And you have to understand, man, when somebody else can do that too, it's fucking impressive, bro.
Thank you, bro.
It's believable. Do you know how to
Took
do
me
it?
forever to get the courage to do that.
You know I play the piano.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to play with you, but I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Good?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
How do you think I play?
Good.
Yeah, I play pretty good.
Nice.
I know chord progressions.
Nice.
I can improvise,
That's nice.
Yeah.
He
Maybe-
wants in.
No.
Basically,
No,
what
I don't want in. I don't want in, but I'm just saying that.
All we do is 3-chord shit.
That's what, like F, C, F, G?
Sure, man. Yeah,
If you did a song with CFG, I could fucking play it.
Okay. I could do CFG.
Really?
Sure, man.
Would we write our own song, or is there?
Yeah, CFG's a good one.
That's everything. Every song,
is a
every
good
song
one.
is CFG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that would be C 145. 145.
Yeah.
That's all the
I
blues
couldn't
songs.
do like E sharp minor to like, you know what I mean, an F to the 7th.
No,
You know what I mean? I don't want to do that.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Seventh's easy, but there's other ones.
Well, like 6th or whatever. You know what I'm
But
saying.
the thing about acting is what I was saying is that the reason I was trying to tell you
Yeah.
is that it's all you got to do really is challenge yourself. Most of the time, all you got to do is like shut something off. You don't have to turn something on.
Right.
Because you're all full of the juice anyway.
Yeah.
So in order to like play a guy that's not you, that's just calmer and more, all you got to do is sort of like, oh, I can just turn this off and then have faith in the fact that you're still going to hold the fucking frame, right?
Yeah, but that's also down to the, like, I remember I did Reservation Dogs. Remember you saw that? You said.
You play the doctor. I love that show and I love Sterling.
But Sterling, right, goes, because I played it like myself, like the first rehearsal. He goes, no, just play it super tired.
yeah.
That's all I needed to, and I got what he said. So it's depending on the director too, and also he's a sweetheart.
Great guy.
He's one of our best friends. We
It's
talk
a-
to him once a week.
Best show.
Oh yeah, but
it's the most original show that's happened in my lifetime.
Oh wow.
wow.
Because people forget what does original really mean? It doesn't mean like, it does some weird thing with cameras or it's shot a different way. No one knew anything about Indian life. No one knew anything about indigenous people in this country or what their life really looked like. And this guy just puts it out there shamelessly, honestly, and with humor. And it's the newest thing any of us are ever going to see.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
yeah, it's amazing.
And it's so funny. I knew, like when I talked to him, I'd read this book Ian Fraser wrote. He's not an indigenous guy, but he wrote a book called On the Res about the reservation. I can't remember, it's the one in South Dakota, I think. And it was about just how these people lived. And there's a thing in there where this group of Indians, or indigenous people, had to go drive like a couple hundred miles to get a car part the next day.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the way that they would wake up early, because they don't live in a world of time that we do,
Yeah.
is that in order to wake up early, they would this guy would drink a lot more water than usual, so he'd have to get up to pee, and that's how he woke up.
Wow.
And I thought, like, they operated a different spiritual zone, a different time zone, a different pace of life. Their ideas about how the world works and what spirituality is completely different, and it's totally integrated. And he lets all that just be. He doesn't explain nothing, and all of a sudden it's like their timing for humor is different.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw a little bit of that with Charlie Hill. There was
Yeah.
definitely a different timing.
Yeah, there
but like
was,
it's
yeah.
sad that he's the only guy. You know, in the indigenous comics.
What a fucking kind,
old
kind-
Charlie.
What a kind man.
Totally.
What a kind man. Oh,
Always high.
yeah. Oh, was he always high?
A lot of weed, that guy, right?
Yeah.
I just remember smoking weed with Charlie.
He also was one guy that was in the, when he first came on the scene. I heard he smashed all these hot chicks.
Sure.
But then when I met him, he was like, you know what I mean?
Portly and old.
Portly and old. Yeah. Yeah. Like you couldn't see him smash.
He was one of the original guys.
Wow.
But like, there's more indigenous comics around, and a lot of them, like, it was such an honor, man, to talk to Sterling, and also like he had me host the screening and panel for your consideration thing.
No.
Yeah. They showed a couple episodes, and I moderated with all the actors and the actresses.
Oh,
It was
wow.
great.
You-
He also said he was
want-
going
I
to
want
write
you-
me a part, but he did
I think
not do that.
Oh, he will. Oh, he will. 100%.
Oh, I think they already shot it.
They haven't. I'm in the second season, and
Oh.
they wrote that we don't shoot for 3 months.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so don't get your head in there. You're in, bro.
I'll send him this clip.
Yeah,
send Sterling this
Yeah,
clip.
so
Yeah,
Sterling the clips.
it's me threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did all this shit for him, and he's like, what is he, Mr. Showbiz now?
No, you should
said
be-
he'd give me
you
a
should
part.
be a
Now he's
do-
fucking hanging me out to dry.
Maybe you should be a doctor with me.
I don't know. Well, I know I'm a hard cast. How do you fit me onto the reservation?
They put Billy in.
Yeah, I know, but Billy played this weird, angry guy who was a coach.
You're a weird, angry guy as well, okay?
I know. How many can you have? we're very different.
Yeah.
Bill.
So at the end of our show, we do a thing called Unhelpful Advice. So people email us problems, and we answer them.
Oh, okay.
Unhelpful Advice with Bobby, Khalyla, and Marc Maron.
Hey guys, have you ever worked on a project or were part of something and didn't receive proper credit or acknowledgement the way you would have liked? If so, what steps did you take to fix that? Garrett.
I mean, I have one that just recently happened.
Hit it.
Yeah.
Wish Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
The
So,
animation for
so
DreamWorks, right?
I get a call going 3 years ago. Sony's doing this huge animation project. You, Jackie Chan, John Cho, right? You guys are the leads. And I go, all right, I'll do it. It's an animated show? Movie?
Movie.
It's a movie about a dragon. So I show up, I do it. I think I work on it for a year and a half, right? And I'm doing 3 parts, right? I play God, I play this, and that. And then the movie comes out on Netflix. Jimmy O Yang, Natasha so-and-so, 18 name, bam, bam, bam. I'm not even on it at all, right? So I feel like I got cut out, right? But then they're like now emailing me, will you publicize? I'm not even at the end credit thing.
What?
What?
Yeah. No, you know how they show the trailer and then
Yeah.
they have that end title?
Yeah.
And there's 15 names,
Yeah.
the director. I'm
Yes.
not even on that.
What?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
So I call Netflix. This is the first time I've ever done this, where I just go, I don't give a fuck. I called CAA. I go, you call them and go, am I cut out? Did I do anything wrong? What's the problem? And they called me so apologetic. Sony, Netflix, everyone called me, wrote me emails apologizing. There was a mix-up, this and that. I forgave them, but I cried when I saw that trailer.
Did they fix it?
And they never fixed it. They never fixed it. But that happened, and it really broke my fucking heart. It broke my heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mix up.
Especially also, it's like when I see the names, it was an all Asian cast, and I
You're
if it was Colin Farrell, you know what I mean?
Margot
He's
Robbie.
Mark Ruffalo, right?
Right.
But it's like all Asians. I feel like when it comes to Asians in showbiz,
You're a big
I think I
Asian.
should be in
Yeah.
the thing.
You're in the mix, man.
Yeah, I should be in the fucking thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
You have anything
terrible.
like that or no?
I don't really remember anything quite like that. Like I remember like a lot of I'm MARC, MARON. And for some reason Like my last name, like if you see Maron,
Yeah.
how you can pronounce that?
Maron.
Maron.
Not really.
Maron.
We're really trying to like.
We're just trying to.
Maron.
Maron.
But that would have an E.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, like,
Yeah.
like they're like Baron, Baron.
Right. It's
Marin.
Marin.
But
Okay.
no, it's like Marin, Marin.
Yeah.
Like, and Mark or Marin spelled Marron. It's just like people's lack of due diligence around, that kind of thing being in a credit where it's like Mark. It's like, what the fuck? It's my name.
Yeah.
Don't make assumptions.
Yeah. So you've seen Mark with a K.
Yeah, and I don't like. I know how it happens,
Yeah.
but it's still like it's lazy.
Can I show you my phone?
Yeah.
I want to see what
On the hike
what I have
the
you
other
saved
day,
under.
Remember, someone was like, "Hey, it's Sunny Lee," and you had a meltdown on the hike. Remember?
What was the
Sunny
meltdown?
Lee.
Okay, so when I have meltdowns like that,
Yeah.
this is how your name is saved on my phone.
Where?
Mark, up right there
Yeah.
With a K.
Mark. Yeah.
with a K. And
Yeah.
I am going to change that immediately. I am going to change that immediately.
I'll change yours from Boogie.
You can put it as a Bob. Put it as a Bob. But can I just say this?
Yeah.
I'll just say this right now, and this will feel special.
What?
Right?
Yeah.
Check this out. Right, Mark. With a K. Marin.
Let me see.
I put a photo.
Oh,
I put
nice.
a photo on your thing.
Do you want me to send you one of my little emojis?
Yeah, do you have an emoji?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'll put that as a thing, right?
But you didn't
I have the
fix
fun-
the
hold on,
K.
hold on.
It's a C.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right fucking right
Hold
now,
on,
lady.
let me see if I can.
Thank you.
It's so funny. Like I'm a grown person. I'm not like an emoji guy. But when I had the opportunity to build a face, I was like,
You'll take it. You'll take it.
I'll build a face.
I'll take it. Mark, I honestly there's so many things I want to talk to you about.
we done?
I mean, we do an hour.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But that's our program.
Look at the emoji.
Okay, let me see.
You love a face, huh?
Oh, I love it. How do I make one?
You guys.
Oh, you'll save me.
Okay,
You'll save me.
yeah.
I want to save this as the photo, right? So what do I do? Save it?
The mustache.
More? I'll figure it out later. You going to be in town this week?
I'm gonna go. I'm here. I might go see a play on Thursday.
In New York or here?
No, here.
But will I see you at the club?
Yeah, I think I'm there tomorrow night, and I put in for Friday and Thursday. I might go on Wednesday to the play, and then Saturday I'm going to go to New Mexico, where I grew up, and I'm going to look at some property and visit my dad, who's ailing.
Oh.
Yeah,
The last thing I want to ask you, this could be another 10-minute conversation.
it's all right. What are they going to?
No. I need to
The
say.
network's going to cut you off.
Another thing is, how many cats do you have now?
Just two.
But didn't you have more?
I had three at the time. At one time, but then LaFonda went, and then Monkey hung on. Like it was sad because like when Lynn passed away, my cat was sick as well, and so like it was just sort of after Lynn passed away, I was like looking at this cat going like, you're gonna have to hold on for a few months because I can't handle it.
Yeah.
And he held on. But then I had Buster the kitten, who I always yelled at for beating up on the old cats. So then, like, I had to put the two old cats down. Then it was just me and Buster for 6 months. But now I got a new guy who's turning out to be kind of dumb, but his name's Sammy, and so I got two.
I want to say one thing about Lynn. If
Yeah,
that's okay.
she loved you. She loved you.
I loved her too, and I've worked with her.
Yeah, I know.
before, and just the gentlest notes.
Oh, yeah.
Just the nicest person on set.
Yeah.
And very clear, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can tell that she likes you. When I used to see her at the store with you,
Yeah.
so kind. And I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
Mark.
it was so terrible.
I'm so sorry.
It was so funny because when she thank you. Someone just sent me pictures of her 2 days ago, like that I hadn't seen before, of when we were at South by Southwest premiering that movie, and I hadn't seen them, and it was just sort of like, and it was right before I went on stage. I was like, oh my God, this is like, it's so sad, but it was so beautiful, right? But anyways, like it was so funny because when she would direct me, because we were kind of in love with each other, it became sort of like I'd always like resist the direction because I was, because like no, I'm not going to do it that way. Because I'd just be a baby because I knew we were like I was just being a baby.
Yeah.
So like I'd go do it my way, and I know in my heart that it wasn't the right way, and I walk over, and she's like, "Do you want to try it my way?" I'm like, "Okay."
All right. Well,
Always my first reaction when somebody who loves me tells me to do something like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like I'm a child. And then you learn your lesson and then you do it. But she was beautiful and a beautiful spirit. And she was a big fan of yours. And yeah, it's terrible. And every day, the grief, it's a weird thing, grief. And it comes in waves. You don't know when. But, I'm grateful that we had the time we had together and it's tragedy. And life, that happens. There's nothing you can do. But it certainly was fucking bullshit.
yeah, it was bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're okay though, buddy.
But it also shows that like you didn't relapse,
No.
right? You were able to process it in a healthy way.
Kind of. Yeah, the best
Yeah,
I could.
the best you
middle of
could.
COVID. I'm doing some material on it that's pretty delicate and pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother came out right away. And yeah, I mean, but it was,
Brother Craig is his name?
Yeah. He came out like right when it happened. It was gnarly, dude. And I can't tell you whether or not I've processed that trauma but the grief comes and goes and I have acceptance around it. But like that first month of dealing with that, because no one could go anywhere. And I had access to all her stuff and I really didn't know her family.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is hard ending.
No, honestly, this is something that I didn't want to bring up really because it's sensitive even for me because I
You knew
I
her.
love you.
Yeah, you
and
knew her.
I loved her.
Yeah.
And it's a tragedy. Yeah,
Totally.
a total tragedy.
Totally. And it's so great that the movies are there and that, people really loved her. Everyone that knew her really loved her. She had that thing.
Yeah.
Why she's with me, I don't know. Because I'm kind of the opposite of that thing.
Yeah.
Like she walks into a room and just lights it up in a positive way. I walk into a room, people are like nervous.
I don't think so anymore.
Not
though.
anymore.
Not anymore, dude.
I don't think so.
Something
'Cause
happened.
I'm excited to see everybody.
I think you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're the best. And give Marc Maron a round of applause. Thank you so fucking much, man. Oh my
Thank
God.
you, buddy.
That was amazing.
Shukuluki mo